The Indians, they have arrived to the Balkans. I recently fell down a rabbit hole of Indian TikToks. My search history has officially become one of the most cursed ones. Honestly, I'd have a much easier time explaining porn rather than whatever the hell this is. I'm quite aware that Indian content online has gotten quite an infamous name for itself. I mean, we've all seen clips of that blue guy getting angry and blowing up the earth over people throwing a statue of an elephant into a river or whatever the hell. Or a sleuth of Indian street food videos where a guy sitting out on a busy Delhi street makes a whole circus performance over just pouring in a cup of Sprite. But what I bet you haven't seen is Indians making content about the Balkans.
Habibi, come to Romania!
In recent times, the Balkans have been going through a labor shortage as practically everyone from here got fed up of the chump change employers here would call salaries and decided to ditch their countries and head to the Baustelle in Germany for 2,000 euros a month instead of a two-lay and a firm handshake. But instead of raising salaries and hurting their dear precious profit margins, Balkan CEOs and employers have come up with this brilliant, mind-blowing idea. Open borders for Indians and pay them fuck all. Can we get a round of applause? Hell yeah! As such, there has been an influx of migrants from South Asia, which has been a disaster for Balkan internet. If you know anything about the Balkans, you know this place is a disaster. You got Europe, and then you have the Balkans, which is Europe. Historically, people from here have been trying to escape abroad for a better life, going to places like Germany, America, cold America, spider-infested America, and America with shitty food. Wait, that's all the Americas. You know, babies in the Balkans, they'd be born, they'd ask doctor, Goo Gaga, where am I? And the doctor would respond, Albania. And then the baby would start screaming, throwing a tantrum, try and take the umbilical cord and hang itself. You know, the whole 9 yards. A very, very sad situation. But now, all of a sudden, you have a bunch of people coming to the Balkans for a better life, being super excited about it, and looking for a better life here. How the tables have turned, baby. I've seen a bunch of videos of Indians moving to Romania and filming themselves going through the process, being all happy, smiling, and excited about it. Bro, do you know where you're going? No one's that excited to go to Romania. One of my favorite clips is of these three guys getting ready to board a plane to Romania. The middle dude's all smiling, you know, super pleased about himself, excited, thinking, oh, I finally get to go to Europe, money, money, money. And then you have the two other guys, which just look like they're remembering the horrors from Omaha Beach. You clearly know who passed their geography test and who didn't. Or this couple, which is getting ready to leave for Croatia. Listen, I know this video was probably taken as the couple was saying goodbye to their loved ones. They were leaving the country out of desperation to make some money, and it sucked, and it was really hard for them. But I'd also like to believe that the woman just now looked up, what is this thing, Croatia? And realized way too late where she was actually going before she could cancel all the plans. Which, to be fair, was my father's exact same reaction when he was told he was going to Croatia in the 90s, so I can't really blame her. And then, when they arrive to the Balkans, they make these really cringy, highly edited TikToks and Reels in an effort to show off where they live now. And the thing is, right, they pick, like, the worst possible things to film. Bro just went to an abandoned water tower, told his mate, hold this, gave him the camera, and just posed hard. Slapped a bunch of free CapCut edits, put in some obnoxious Indian turbo folk, and thought to himself, yeah, this goes hard. and posted it with no regret whatsoever. What makes this even better is that my guy thought that this was super cool, but unintentionally created a 2 Balkan for you shitpost. But by far, my favorite ones are when they flex being in Bucharest.
पहिले नेपाल हाल रोमानिया आएको छु
I get it. I get it. You know, they don't know the lore, they don't know the city, they don't know jack shit. They're just probably excited because they're in a new place, they might have never traveled before again, and they've seen on social media from friends and acquaintances and other random people that when you go to a new place, when you travel, you know, take pictures, videos, and show off the place where you're at. But bro, it's Bucharest we're talking about. The last time I was in Bucharest, I was out on a date, walking through the city center with my girlfriend, when all of a sudden we saw a homeless guy dead center at Piazza Uniri shooting up Afghan sleepy powder right up his leg. All I'm saying is that if you're in Bucharest, you do not flex about being in Bucharest. You flex when you leave it. The thing is, it's not just Bucharest, but other random ass cities as well. They go to random ass industrial towns and post these excited videos over the most ghetto ass shit imaginable. My brother in Christ, the place you're flexing, translated in English, means rainy place. Not even sunshine dares to come to Ploiești. And you're there, and you're all excited about bathing in a sorry excuse for a waterfall. To be fair again, Clusians had also the same reaction when Emil Boc built the new Grigo beach. So maybe the problem's with me. Maybe I'm just a hater that has had his heart broken and now can't even find a semblance of happiness in this world. So I gotta tear down other people for enjoying the nicest of things. But other times it's just ridiculous. My guy is flexing going to a gas station. I'd get it if it were a mall or an OMV, but Rom fucking petrol! I go to Rom Petrol with my car keys in one hand and my knife in the other. You know, maybe if you're from Craiova, it's a place to flex about defeating the local gypsy samurai, but if you're a Cluj femboy, you're just gonna take the extra 5 minutes to drive down the street and get to the mall. But of course, we can't go without mentioning the infamous train videos. That was a shitty throw. Those of you that have somehow managed not to be terminally online and exclusively use the internet for cat videos and sharing the racist Instagram reels, there's this ongoing trend in India where Indian guys, for some reason, like to walk in slow motion next to a passing train and post that online. And naturally, this trend has come to the Balkans alongside them. I don't know about you, but for me, the last thing I'd ever want to flex about is going next to a Balkan train. Have you seen the state of Romania's national trains? You're literally walking next to a shitbox, piss-filled overflowing bathrooms, secondhand smoke, and ruined hopes and dreams. All the while, some guy is going down the passenger aisles, giving you little pictures of saints and asking you for money. CFR, the Romanian national rail company, already filed for bankruptcy. Essentially, this is the equivalent of filming yourself walking past a homeless guy as a flex. I mean, technically it is a flex, but not in the way you think is cool. And for some reason, every single time without fail, they play some Indian version of Turbo Folk in the background.
Habibi, come to Kursia.
Like, what would you think if a Balkan guy made a video of him walking next to a train and posted it with a soundtrack of Baja Malik Ninja, Tsetsa, Sandu Chorba, or Severino? I was genuinely fascinated by this phenomenon in India, so I did a bit of research. As it turns out, the autism rate in India is 1 in every 68 kids, while the world average is 1 in every 127. So maybe it's just autists posting these train videos to impress other autists, that they were able to find this rare Soviet shitbox that only they care about. Because I highly doubt that them Indian baddies are looking at these videos online and thinking, ah yes, Baljeet, you walking next to a train turns me on so much. Put a baby in me right now. But I do know a couple of guys who would cream their pants from me just sending them a video of a train. But that's just a theory. A game theory. On a more serious note, I know a lot of these videos are super cringy and hilarious to us, considering self-deprecation is one of the Balkans' best qualities. But the people coming here are coming from places far worse than the Balkans. I know it's hard to imagine, I struggle with it too, but just trust me. I've been to India, I've had 300 euros cammed from me, and I had to fight a monkey for an ice cream, okay? The rumors are true. The salary over there on average is around 350 euros a month, and the unemployment rate is quite high, especially for the youth. So I can't really blame them for coming here. It's not like most of these immigrants are aware of the situation they're putting themselves into. On Instagram, TikTok, or any other brain-rot social media you might use, there's a plethora of Indian ads promising cheap and easy visas for Romania, Serbia, Croatia, and whatever other mental illness you can imagine. While at the same time promising them a salary of, get this, between 1,500 to 2,000 euros for menial labor jobs like doing food delivery and maybe construction work. Which again, if you're from here, who's gonna tell them? At the same time, there's also a bunch of videos of these immigrants flexing the local currency, like dinars and lei, trying to show off how they're wealthy after coming here. But at the end of the day, when you count all the money they have from in the local currency, they can maybe buy a pack of Lucky Strikes and some day-old bread. But in the comments of these flexing and ad videos, you'll find a bunch of South Asian immigrants who post comments saying that this is absolute bullshit, where after you subtract the agency cost, the Glovo fee, the bike rental agency, rent and food, you maybe get out with like 500 euros. Maybe. Which, if you think about it, is diabolical, considering these companies that are bringing them over here are promising them a salary of up to 2,000 euros only to give them all. If you think about it, it's genuinely evil, because a lot of these people who are coming here are desperate, and they're doing so to get some money for their families who most likely need it badly, hoping to provide for them only to be given the middle finger once all the paperwork is finalized. If you dig even deeper, you'll even find clips of their actual living situations, which makes the entire thing just even sadder. A lot of times they'll be put into one small-ass apartment with several other people and will all be sleeping in bunk beds. Even by just looking at the kitchen, you can tell this is a one-bedroom apartment and there are several people living in there. What's even more messed up about this situation is if you read a bit more, you'll find out that these migrants have to pay the agency for basically rent, which they'll live in these conditions and they'll have to pay between 200 to 250 euros for living with several other people in one small ass apartment. Meanwhile, I can tell you right now, if you go and book like a one-bedroom apartment in Bucharest or practically any city in the Balkans that's not a part of the 9 circles of hell like Belgrade or Cluj, you can find an entire apartment for 200 to 250 euros just for yourself. I mean, the entire situation is just fucked up. Like, yeah, these videos are funny, haha, you know, culture clash. But at the same time, you have some assholes in an office in New Delhi. They promise them the world, they're gonna have so much money, but they withhold like these crucial details, and they only get to find out once they're here, and you know, you're stuck. But I'm still not gonna lie, seeing Nepalis being excited about Zagreb still makes me laugh. These bros here are thinking, wow, this is the greatest country on earth, ooh, the party never stops. So happy to be here. Then you have this video of a Croatian woman, you know, just staring with her dead eyes thinking, why couldn't I be born in Germany? One thing that's not really clear to me is why are there so many Nepalis in Zagreb? Like, okay, with Indians I get it, there's 1 billion of them, you'll find them practically everywhere. But Nepal only has a population of 30 million. And for some reason, Croatia seems like the place to go for them. As my favorite classical music Serbian band once said, I guess over there's a similar saying, except who f***s up in Nepal, he dips to Croatia. Okay, and to be fair, out of all the Balkan countries you could go to, Croatia is pretty nice. Great beaches, beautiful medieval architecture, nice weather, palpable food. You know, I can kind of get why someone would want to go to Croatia. I mean, at the end of the day, there is a reason it's the #1 destination for Germans, Czechs, and other humor-deprived peoples. Destination to get a sunburn. But the immigrants there, do they take photos and videos of the beautiful beaches, the sunny skies, the fascinating architecture? Hell no! They flex the most random ass neighborhoods in the outskirts of Zagreb. You know, the first week they come here, you know, they're making the cringy ass TikToks of, you know, flexing dinars, creaming their pants to abandoned water towers. But after 1 month, they've fully embraced the culture. You can say many things about Indian immigrants, but that they don't integrate is not one of them. If this isn't the most Balkan hangout ever, I don't know what is. They got the Lowenbrows, they got Rakia, they fucking have the time of their life. Like, you know the political discussion here goes extremely hard, and you can't tell me that a video of Sri Lankans listening to Turbofolk isn't the hardest thing you've ever seen in your entire life. They're so deep into integrating, they've even embraced Balkan schizo nationalism.
Onnan indultak magyarok Indiából indultak, pontosan Észak-Indiából, Gujarat, Rajasthan és Uttar Pradesh megyéről.
I genuinely can't wait for the day where I see an Indian online saying Vesse Trianon and crying about Hungary losing 70% of its territory whilst calling Romania a fake made-up country full of gypsies. That's the day when my little, sad, dark heart will be full of love again.
And you know, in Serbian and Hindi, like one of my languages, very much similar because of Sanskrit. Yes, Sanskrit is the oldest language in the world, and that's why we are connected. Serbs and Indians, in all time, they're connected because of Aryans and everything.
Elon Musk being a Serb and Balkan pyramids, falling in love with someone who truly understands and gets you? Those are all debunked conspiracy theories. Serbs being actually Indian? Now that's what it's all about. I mean, keep this shit up and you'll see me carrying a Hindu god down Central Park as well. At the end of the day, live, laugh, love, as I always say. I wish the Indians a pleasant stay in the Balkans and an even more pleasant departure to Germany once they fully embrace the culture here. As always, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, click that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel, and if you really enjoyed it, consider becoming a member like these wonderful people. My name is Janos, and you've watched Living Ironically in Europe.
Hey, why are you